What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar tutorial for Lonely by Diplo and Jonas Brothers. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know in the comments below what are the songs by Diplo or Jonas Brothers that you want to learn on guitar. Guys, the first thing that you want to know to play Lonely on guitar is that in order to get rid of some bar chords and keep this as beginner friendly as possible, we're going to capo up to 1st fret. And if you don't have a capo, I'll have a link to get this capo for free right up here. The next thing you want to know for Lonely is the structure of this song. We're going to start out with a verse, then go to pre-chorus, then chorus, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus again, and then we're going to finish up the very last little bit of the song with one last time through the verse. And guys, the last thing that you want to know before we dive into Lonely is the 4 chords that we need to play this song. The first one is A minor, the next one is C, the next one is G, and the last one is F. And I'll have a beginner way to play that F chord, as well as chord charts for all the other chords in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into Lonely. Man, Lonely is a great song for beginner guitarists because we only have one picking pattern that's going to play through most of the song, and then we have a chord progression and strum pattern that's going to play through the rest of it. So there's not a whole lot to remember for this one, so it's really fun and easy to play. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is what we're playing for our verses and our pre-choruses, which is actually going to be that picking pattern that you hear in the very beginning of the song. So before we actually break down that picking pattern, one quick thing that you need to know is that all of the notes and the frets that I'm telling you will be not relative to the capo. All that means is that if I say we need a 5th fret on the high E string, that will be on the actual 5th fret, not relative to the capo. So the actual 5th fret on the high E. That's just going to help us out because we're kind of all up and down the fretboard on this one, so it'll kind of help us keep track of where we're at a little bit better. So with that in mind, guys, let's break down this picking pattern that's going to play through all of our verses and our pre-choruses for Lonely. So what we're going to do for our first shape is we'll have an 11th fret on the D string and a 9th fret on the high E string, and we're going to pick those two together. And then we're going to take that same shape and we're going to slide it down to 6th fret on the D string and 4th fret on the high E. Same thing, we're going to pick those two together. Then we're going to take that shape and slide it up 2 frets to 8th fret on the D string and 6th fret on the high E and pick those two together. And then we're going to go up here to this. We're going to have a 4th fret on the A string and a 6th fret on the B string. And for that, we're going to alternate pick those. So we're going to go A, B, just like that. So, just like that. And then we're going to go up to this. We're going to have a 4th fret on low E and a 5th fret on G. And we're going to just pick that alternating once. So we'll go low E and then G. That's our first time through. And then what we're going to do is we're going to repeat most of that again, but we're going to have 2 different ending notes. So we're going to go back to the beginning there. We'll have that 11th and 9th. And then we'll go to 6th and 4th. And then we'll go to 8th and 6th. And then we go back to that A string 4th fret, B string 6th fret, and we'll do that alternate A, B, A, B. And this is the second time through. After we do that alternating A, B, A, B, we're going to slide this shape up here and we're going to go 8th fret on the A string and 9th fret on the B string, and we're going to alternate pick that as well. So we'll go A, B, just like that. And that is just going to repeat through all of our verses and our pre-choruses. So one more little guided walkthrough of what that whole thing will look like all together before we do a playthrough will look like this. We're going to start out on 11th fret of the D string and 9th of the high E string. We'll pick those together. Slide that shape down to 6th and 4th. Slide that shape up to 8th and 6th. And then we've got 4th on the A and 6th on the B. We're going to do alternating picking on those twice. So we'll go A, B, A, B. And then we're going to go up to 4th fret on the low E and 5th fret on the G. And do low E and G, just like that, just once. And then we'll go to back repeating through to the beginning. So we're going to go 11th on the D string. Then we'll go 9th on the high E. We'll do those together. Slide that down to 6th and 4th. Slide that up to 8th and 6th. And we're going to go back up here to that 4th fret on the A string and the 6th fret on the B string. We'll alternate pick that. We'll go A, B, A, B. And we're going to slide that shape and go up to 8th fret on the A string and 9th fret on the B string, and we'll go A, B. And that is what's going to repeat through all of our verses and pre-choruses on Lonely. So guys, I'm going to play through this a couple of times very slowly so that you can make sure that you have all the right stuff in all the right places. And then I'll play through it a couple of times full speed so that you can match it up with the speed of the song. So slowly a couple of times first will look about like this. And a couple of times full speed through the picking pattern that's going to repeat all the way through the verses and pre-choruses for Lonely will look about like this. From there, guys, the only other thing that you need to know to play Lonely on guitar is what we're playing for our choruses. For our choruses, we're just going to have one chord progression and two strum patterns to go along with it. Our chord progression that we're going to have for our choruses in Lonely is going to go A minor, F, C, and G. And you'll notice that some of those chords do have a star next to them, and that's because we, again, are going to have two different strum patterns, one for the non-starred chords and one for the starred chords. So first, let's take a look at our non-starred chord strum pattern. For our non-starred chords, we're just going to play down, down, up pretty quickly, just like that. So, just like that. From there, we're onto our F chord, which is our first starred chord. For our starred chords, what we're going to do is we're going to play down, and then a little bit of a pause, and then up, down, down. So the interesting thing about this is the transition. It's a very fast transition. So that might be a little bit challenging if you're not really used to those fast transitions or that F chord, but it's not too terribly difficult. And again, about that F chord, we do have a beginner way to play that in the pinned comment below if you need it. So a little example of the speed of that transition will look about like this. We'll go down, down, up, down, down, about like that. It's that fast of a transition. So that part might be a little bit tricky, but it's just going to take a little bit of practice. So continuing through our chord progression there, we go to our C chord, which is again another non-starred chord. So for that one, we've got down, down, up. And then we go to our G chord, which is our last chord, and it's a starred chord. So for that one, we'll go down, up, down, down. Just like that. And that's our whole chord progression and strum patterns, and that is just going to repeat a couple of times for each one of our choruses. So one more little walkthrough of all of that together will look about like this. We'll go down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. One more time. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Just about like that a couple of times through our choruses. So guys, with all that in mind, a couple of times through that chord progression and those strum patterns that we're going to use for our choruses on Lonely, without me talking, will look about like this. guys, that is everything you should know to play Lonely on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 700 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there cannot be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what song I'm jamming on today or pictures of my dog, you can hit up my Instagram story at the Groovy Guitar Dude. Link for that will be in the description below. Guys, Lonely is such a great song. I've really been digging everything that Diplo's been putting out over the last couple of months and everything that Jonas Brothers have been putting out over the last couple of months. So seeing them come together and make this really cool song together is just great. I dig it. I have to admit, whenever I was a little bit younger, a lot younger, whenever the Jonas Brothers first started getting popular, I was probably in like junior high, high school, and I didn't really like them that much. I guess it was because there's kind of a stigma associated with guys who liked the Jonas Brothers. They were just a boy band that like only girls liked, and so whenever they first got popular, I didn't really like them that much. But now, I love their music. I love this song and all of their new singles that have been coming out. I love a lot of the stuff that they did individually when the band was broken up, and I even love all of their old stuff that I was like too cool to like whenever I was in junior high and high school. So it's so cool. I just love their vibe, and I'm really stoked for them to continue releasing new music. This song is an excellent song for beginner guitarists. That picking pattern is a little bit funky, but it's not too terribly difficult. It's one of those that you just want to practice slowly as many times as you possibly can or need to make sure that you got it down just right, and then you can work your way into playing at full speed. It's a little bit tricky, but if you do it that way, you'll have it down in no time. That's exactly what I had to do to get this one down as well. Also, that chord progression and strumming pattern, not too bad. The transitions on it are a little bit quick, but other than that, it's still pretty beginner friendly. Again, the most challenging part about that chord progression is just going to be that F chord, and again, I will have a beginner way to play that in the pinned comment below if you need it. It's totally cool. Not everybody can play bar chords right away. So, guys, I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.